Kate here with a TBR for the Create Your Own Holiday Adventure readathon happening in December. Before I jump into the information about the readathon and the books that I am choosing, you can tell I'm in now yet another different filming location. We have moved. We are in our new place and we love it. It is 2 times as big as the little city apartment we were living in before. So we feel very spoiled, and yeah, it's great. So we're settling in, trying to unpack all of that, but it feels really wonderful to know that the big task of moving in is done, and everything else, you can get to it in your own time. Yes, so it feels great to be moved, and it was a transition I knew was going to happen all of 2020, and it's finally happened. So that is wonderful, and I'm hoping to do some decorating for Christmas. We'll see how much I get done. But I really am excited to tell you about the Create Your Own Holiday Adventure readathon that I am participating in. I saw the video on Tia at Tia and All the Books channel, and it's really special because there's different pathways you can take, and so different prompts for each pathway. And I just loved the notion of create your own holiday adventure. And it's also hosted by Bree Hill over on Bookstagram. Her username is fallingforromance on Bookstagram. And Chloe from the channel Always Booked, and Sarah from the channel The Bookish Knitter. So there are several pathway options. There is holiday romance, holiday party animal, and then I realized I left off one of them. But the pathway that I'm going to be taking is the Kid at Heart pathway, and you end up in Santa's workshop. So it was out of the books, book prompts to choose for each path, it was the pathway that I liked the most. And I know I have a huge Cloak and Dagger Christmas TBR, but these are some really slim volumes, and a lot of them planning to read them aloud with Peter. I didn't include any of the, Christmassy read alouds I'm hoping to do in my Cloak and Dagger Christmas TBR, so I thought I would put them up here. And it did make me go through my Christmas books and think, oh yeah, I said, this Christmas I wanted to read that, and I had forgotten about it. So the first prompt is read a book with snow on the cover. I am reading this in participation with the Bitter Single Ladies Read Romance collaboration that is hosted by Rainey from Rainy Day Reads and Angie from Literary Labors. They do a romance read along each month, and I've missed several of them, but I've been interested in participating, especially in the less steamy romances. And this is one of them, and they are going to do a live show, and it's really fun when they do. I was able to watch their live show last month, so I definitely wanted to participate in this. And it sounds really fun. It's about the main character, Esme, who gets, she breaks up with her fiance who has been unfaithful to her and goes to stay with her grandmother in the Peak District. And then I think she and her grandmother plan this fun, festive Christmas trip to Lapland. So that sounds wonderful. And I would love like a contemporary Christmassy feeling book that would just be a really kind of easy breezy, because a lot of the mysteries I'm reading are that, but they aren't the more like romantic kind. So kind of Hallmark movie in book form. I wouldn't want to read a lot of them, but just to have one that I know I'm going to get to, I'm excited. So I'm going to be reading that by Tennant, and then reading aloud to Peter, The Family Under the Bridge by Natalie Savage Carlson. And this is one that I'm pretty sure has won the Newbery. It's a middle grade that I keep meaning to get to, but it is set at Christmas time, so I thought this would be a really good time. Instead of saving it for middle grade March, just read it around Christmas time. I think it's about a family of homeless children and kind of an old curmudgeon that takes them in, kind of like The Christmas Hirelings by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. So I love that format. It's a really slim volume and would not be hard to get through as a read aloud. And I've just heard nothing but good things about it. And then the next prompt is to read a book with red on the cover. And another one I'll be reading aloud with Peter is this beautiful volume I got last year and then didn't read it, called Christmas Stories. And it's by Noel Streatfeild. So if you know the shoes books, ballet shoes, theater shoes, dancing shoes, those books are written by Noel Streatfeild. So this is a collection of their stories. So it's 6 little short stories. I think that's what it is. Oh, it's 9 little short stories. So I really want to get to this, and I think it'd be fun to share it with Peter, and hopefully we'll enjoy it. And then one that I didn't have with me when I did my Cloak and Dagger Christmas TBR, so I'll hold it up now, and that is the Big Book of Christmas Mysteries. This is compiled by Otto Penzler, who owns the mystery bookshop in Manhattan, and I just read a few every year. I don't put pressure on myself to read a lot. I think I've read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So they're divided up into little sections. I've read 6 out of the traditional Little Christmas section, and I would like to keep reading, especially because there's one by Mary Roberts Reinhardt, who is a very iconic American mystery author, and it's called The Butler's Christmas Eve, which just sounds so intriguing. And then maybe read all out of A Funny Little Christmas. And particularly what intrigued me was there's one by Rumple and the Spirit of Christmas by John Mortimer. And I haven't read any of the Rumple and the Bailey stories, but I hear they're so good, and really humorous mysteries, really slim little volumes, and definitely want to get to that. So looking forward to dipping into this again. Like I said, it's just fun to not put pressure on myself to read a ton of it, just read some of it and savor it each year. Look forward to it each year. And the next prompt says, read a travel or road trip book. So one, I'm going to be reading another read aloud with Peter, shorter one called The Box of Delights. And this is by John Masefield. I'm going in kind of blind to this. I know it involves a lot of magical elements. It involves some train travel. I think the fate of Christmas is at stake. And I think a box is a big part of the plot. It's a British children's classic. I've never read it myself. I also know that a fair number of UK people always like watching the made-for-TV adaptation of this right around Christmas time, and it sounds really lovely. And the other book I want to read for the travel prompt is I Saw 3 Ships by Elizabeth Goudge. Sad times. This cover, I tried to take the sticker off and it just ripped the cover. So if I really love this, maybe I would get a prettier edition someday. I love, all of this. It looks so charming, but it's about a little orphan girl named Polly. Yes, Polly. And she's spending Christmas with her 2 aunts. I think she's kind of lonely. It doesn't say, on the back cover what the town is that they're in, but it's some coastal town because on Christmas Day, 3 ships sail into their community. And I think it, starts off a big crazy turn of events. It does have some really charming illustrations. So I think it's an adventure tale of sorts. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you'll know I love Elizabeth Goudge, A City of Bells, the Elliot Family Trilogy, and Island Magic, which I read this year. And I'm looking forward to reading this with Peter. And the last prompt that I will be doing is read a book with a naughty or nice hero. And I am going to be reading All About Us by Tom Ellen. I first heard about this book on Gemma from Read a Book Gem's channel. And it is a Christmas Carol retelling of sorts, where our main character, who is very flawed, you're going to see him kind of revisiting things from his past. But I heard that it just has a lot of heart to it and is written in a really compelling way. And it sounded like a really nice read for this time of the year. So I am really excited to read some Christmassy things in addition to all of the mysteries for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Thank you as always for watching, and I will be back with another video soon. Bye.